This story is supported by the Public Welfare Foundation, committed to advancing a transformative approach to justice that is community-led, restorative, and racially just. Learn more at publicwelfare.org.
I was never a non-Indian, never. I was always an Indian, even though the United States told me I wasn't. I was.
The importance of the canoe, for me, it's brought back so much.
As a tribe, we were terminated in the 1950s, and when we were terminated, we lost our whole social fabric, and we were told we were not Indians anymore, and we were not able to practice our ways. We lost all of our cultural being, and our ways were lost.
It's okay to be whiter because once we start thinning it out, it's just super easy to take it in.
For me, as a lot of the trauma that we experience as Native people is that generational trauma, colonization, the loss of our culture and our traditions and our identity, and not knowing where to go to draw strength from, where to go, who to turn to, what songs to sing, right, what ceremonies to attend, and just overall that disconnection of who we are as a people. And I feel that plays a large piece into how our people do end up looking outwards to fix something on the inside.
I don't believe that anyone, if you ask them today, how many want to be an alcoholic or an addict? How many people are going to raise their hand? Yeah, me, let me. No one starts like that, but it creeps in and it takes over, it consumes you. You are then under the power of either the drink or the drug of choice, whatever it might be. What do they call alcohol? They call it spirits. And in our way, we know that those things are spirits that take over on you, and you no longer are in charge.
We keep Narcan all throughout the clinic, and we just have Narcan everywhere, just in case. And I carry Narcan in my running backpack because I commute a lot, and I also carry it, I have it in my car, I have it everywhere. There are no throwaway people. Everybody deserves the chance for hope and help, even if they're not ready.
It's changed lives, it's saved lives for us.
The Confederated Tribes at Grand Ronde Treatment and Recovery Services are making strides in tackling the opioid crisis, both in the tribal community and in neighboring towns and cities.
This is where we do group, and we have meetings here. We also do acupuncture every Friday. Grand Ronde's been working really diligently to bring that service and expand care to be able to provide other options, including methadone and Suboxone, to the reservation and off campus as well. And so there's now Great Circle Salem, Great Circle Portland, and then 2 mobile clinics that support each site and also help navigate the opioid crisis each day. So I'm excited and grateful to be part of that vision, and just having that continuum for, Grand Ronde tribal members and other natives is just really incredible to know that that's going to be there and available. There's something really unique about the way that we do this work. There are so many opioid treatment programs across the country. Great Circle is steeped in the cultural and community values that Grand Ronde shares. And the way they care for their people is the way that we care for every patient that walks through these doors. And everybody matters, everybody heals in community, and there is hope for each person that walks through that door. And that comes from the resilience that Grand Ronde has as a community and just the heart that they put into the care that they provide. And that is one of the things that makes Great Circle so special.
Taking care of the health and wellness of community members is a key tribal value. Overcoming challenges, they created and are running their own programs.
We are doing it not just for Indian people, but for each other. And I know that when I'm coming to work and we're building programming or giving services, it's for me, it's for my relatives, it's for my son, my grandson, and so on and so on and so on. And it truly is the 7 generations ahead. As a tribe, we were terminated, and that happened in the 1950s. And when we were terminated, a lot of the families were scattered for work. We lost our whole social fabric, and we were told we were not Indians anymore, and we were not able to practice our ways. We lost all of our cultural being, and so it was really hard for a lot of people. And so for that to also be added on top of the substances that are out there now that are so hard to get away from, it's been difficult to make sure that we have enough services available to give to our people. And we fight for beds, we fight for the space to send our people to, and that's what really led for us to make these services our own. When I came on board, it was really clear that we needed to have access to these services. In the state of Oregon, it's really difficult to get these services, and so I was always like, why don't we do this ourselves? We could do this so much better. And so it really became a quest for me to go to tribal council and say, can we do this? It was not an easy sell. A lot of people were really, I think, afraid for us, especially when we started looking at opioid treatment programming, where it was really happening in the community, that they were afraid for us to bring it to the community, the treatment part of it. But we went to out there and said, if we don't do this, people are going to start dying. And it did happen. We were seeing it. So tribal council agreed. They supported it.
The tribe's top leader agrees. The longtime tribal leader also has a long career in Native American healthcare, which includes addressing alcohol and drug addiction treatment.
I don't believe that anyone, if you ask them today, how many want to be an alcoholic or an addict? How many people are going to raise their hand? Yeah, me, let me. No one starts like that, but it creeps in and it takes over, it consumes you. And pretty soon you have no life. You are then under the power of either the drink or the drug of choice, whatever it might be. And I think about that, and what do they call alcohol? They call it spirits. And in our way, we know that those things are spirits that take over on you. And you no longer are in charge, and you would do things you would never believe you'd be able to do or even think of doing, because you're under that pharmaceutical product. A lot of people think that it tends only to alter your mind, but it also comes to your body as well. And as Native people, we think about ourselves in the whole. Colonization had those kind of effects, and again, they're cyclical. And that's why the cycle of addictions, of use, misuse, need to be addressed.
The state, like many other states, has been hit by the opioid crisis, including the misuse of prescription and illicit drugs.
Not everybody can achieve recovery through abstinence. I mean, Sometimes people will say, well, it would be better if they would just stop using drugs altogether. And I agree. But statistics show that that's about 15 to 20% of people can do that, and probably less so now with fentanyl. Our choices then would be, if we don't have this option, is then somewhere between 80 and 85% of our population is going to be just left with no hope. So our goal is to help the people, the majority of people who can't quit this without some help, and give them at least some stability in their life, so that if they can stop using these illicit drugs, they can get their life back together and live a safer life. And ideally, at some point, maybe taper off of the methadone or the buprenorphine and be completely drug-free. But again, it's better to live, on one of these medications than it is to be out there using street drugs.
There's the thought that, well, why do you believe in a treatment program when you're using a substance to help someone overcome, their addiction? You're trading one for another is often the thing. On this, you got into it gradually. It happens through times. Well, under the structured way of using these substances, you're going backwards and you're getting rid of it day by day by day in a methodology that your body is getting stronger, your mind is getting better, you're able to make decisions and focus on things. So for me, I'm not an advocate that there is one way that it is better than another.
This type of treatment shouldn't be any different than going to an endocrinology appointment or having a chronic health condition like blood pressure that needs to be managed. You might be on a blood pressure drug for a long time or a short period of time, but you're going to have to manage that blood pressure. Substance use shouldn't be any different, but yet it is. And so the more we can normalize and have these clinics out and available and embedded into the other services that are happening, it just destigmatizes that for everybody. It's just a chronic health condition that needs to be treated, and you just treat it. And there's many different tools to treat it, and methadone is just one of them.
Great Circle is the first tribally owned opioid treatment program in the state. The Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde also provide recovery and transitional housing services.
For Main Street Clinic, it's the idea of having more services where we don't have to send people out, and it can be our people providing services to our people. Main Street Recovery, that's been huge for us too, because instead of having to go to a facility where you might get 21 days or 28 days, we're not putting a limit on that. We're saying what is good for you is what we want you to do, and we're integrating that person into all the activities and cultural programming that we can, so that that person is finding wellness, as well as all the regular groups and individual treatment programming that they need with their counselors. We're letting them stay as long as they need to get well.
Being able to provide that holistic approach with access to mental health and substance use, and kind of figuring out what the needs are and being able to tailor that to each person that comes through is really important. And because at the Main Street Recovery, we're so close to the reservation, there's lots of activities and different things that we're able to take the residents to. So for instance, tomorrow they're going to be working on making paddles. And the other day they came in and they had been part of this carving class. So things like that are really important. And we've also done some gathering, taken them out on different like nature gathering activities. So incorporating all of that in is really important to addressing the trauma and the healing.
Culture is wellness, culture is healing. We have a wellness canoe, and it's Chicha, which is grandmother, because who really doesn't want to be embraced by your grandmother? You know, it's that feeling of love and being embraced, hugged, welcomed by your grandmother. So we do canoe journey with a lot of the Northwest tribes. We do a lot of paddle practices, not just our canoe, but the other tribes' canoes. And we provide all of the equipment and everything for it so that it can be something supported by wellness, because it truly is a wellness thing. It's a good medicine thing, and that became something that is part of our public health program, so we can continuously grow it and become a part of that. So it's working with our youth to do that. And for our youth that have maybe started slipping, or adults that are slipping, we're supporting them through different programming with our tribal police, trying to coordinate with them in different integrated groups, so that if they are already in the penal system, that we're trying to get them back into healthy ways, and trying to reunite with their families once they've gotten stable.
The canoe has just brought back so much, our way of life, all around the canoe. That bucket brigade line that we feel when we're all pulling together, we're all going forward, we're all making that forward movement, and it helps with our noggins. If you should need it. If you don't, you're good. But if you should need some help of motivation and pushing you forward, and to try new things, however that is, that are good for you, and it's wicked fun. And then our songs came back. Just the one guy who got on the canoe on the Father's Day paddle, he'd been in and out of some places that weren't no good for him. And he was like, man, this is what I've been missing. And he was excited to get back in the canoe. And I was like, oh, wait till we go to the Salmon River and we go out on the ocean, just touch the ocean a little bit and come back, you know? And I was like, it's a good time. And then just being able to share, because being on the canoe and on the river, our waterways, those highways, our ancestors, you know, all that good stuff, that's all untouched right there. That's our oldest place right now. So when I go take people on canoes and we go somewhere, that's usually untouched, you know? And if it has been developed, then I kind of know about that, you know? But for the most part, sure, it's moved over thousands of years and did this thing, but it's still, the water's still wet, you know, the plants are still here for us to learn from.
For people on their mental health and recovery journey, having trusted support is of great value.
Sometimes we don't realize how alone people feel when they're out there. I am a recovering addict myself, and not knowing what resources you have that could help you come to get healing from. I walk with them, letting them know that they're not alone, and that it's okay to reach out. It's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to question things, because I didn't know what I could question and what I couldn't question, and go into meetings having someone sit there with you that might know those questions to ask for their children, because they don't know what questions they can ask or not ask, or know that it's okay not to answer some of them, because you think because they have your children that you have to give those answers. And sometimes it's okay to say, I am not okay. And so it's kind of like our children. You hold their hand until they're ready to let go, and even then you still hold it and watch them grow and succeed at life. I've always loved helping people because it helps feed my soul. And so by feeding my soul, doing the job that I love to do, and finding my purpose, because back a long time ago, that's what they would do, is wait for someone to learn what would help us grow as a tribe. And each one of us play a big role, and peer support helps get people walk through a door that they normally probably would have never ever walked through.
In Portland, the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde provide services as well as Native organizations, including the Native American Youth and Family Center, which offers substance use and mental health support and housing.
Having somebody that can connect to you in a way that I've been there, I have felt that we're equals. You know what I mean? If I can do it, you can do it. This is where I come from. I hear what you're telling me, but like having that empathy and that understanding of I've been there, and let me help you pull you out if you want, right? Because it's all about what our relatives are willing to do, right? It doesn't matter what I want for them or what I see in them, or it's all about their willingness and their plan and their goals for their own life. And so to be able to be a part of that, I think is really huge, and I'm really grateful. As a lot of the trauma that we experience as Native people is that generational trauma, colonization, loss of our culture and our traditions and our identity, and not having or not knowing where to go to draw strength from, where to go, who to turn to, what songs to sing, right, what ceremonies to attend, and just overall that disconnection of who we are as a people. And I feel that plays a large piece into how our people do end up turning outwards to fix, looking outwards to fix something on the inside. I feel like when we're feeling lost and we're feeling disconnected, and it can be really easy to find ourselves in positions of, I want something that's going to make me feel better right now, and I don't understand why I'm not feeling good, or I don't understand where this hurt is coming from, but I know what will take it away, and I know what will make me feel better right now. And unfortunately, for a lot of our people, it is in our culture, and it is in our traditions, and it hasn't been. So I love about NAYA, we really take a look at and do our best to reconnect our people with our culture, reconnect our people with our traditions, reconnect our people with their language and education, just trying to make everything available for them to be able to heal and connect to and move forward.
The impact of colonization and genocide, it's so multifaceted, and unfortunately, like some people might use the word marginalized community, and I look at it as like deliberately de-resourced, and unfortunately, homelessness and housing instability is one part of that. And it's sad because without a place that you can feel safe and secure, it's really hard to move forward in any other aspect of your life.
Having a place to live and in a safe space is part of the recovery journey for many Native people. The organization's help includes a 58-unit affordable housing development with culturally specific services for individuals and families.
People are on so many different places in their journey, and so many people have seen absolutely devastating impact of drugs and alcohol in their own life, in their family's life, in their community's life. And the culture can be such a healing for people. The songs, the ceremonies, feeling that pride again, and of being able to even go around those things. And so that's part of the reason why buildings like this are really important, because what they convey about people's sense of value and worth and dignity and respect, some of that is not communicated by words. It's communicated by the actions and the environment and the beauty of this space and the intentionally trauma-informed design of it. There's not a lot of corners where you can't see around. And that's something that we heard from people. And we always try to be responsive to what the Native community is asking for. And the way that all the floors have some different areas where people can just informally gather. Obviously, also the way that this kids area is completely separated from cars. Those are very, very intentional, and to create a sense of safety, of dignity, of kindness. And I think sometimes the environment communicates as much as words can.
Highlighted throughout the programs and services is the resilience of Indigenous people.
The resiliency that our people have is so beautiful. something that I like to say and I love to hear when I'm out in the community, in the recovery community, is like, we're not just our trauma. We don't just carry our pain and that generational trauma. We also carry that resiliency. We carry that power. We carry that strength, all the ones that they couldn't kill. And we're the descendants of them, and I think that is amazing, and to be able to see the families and watch them grow and watch them make these hard choices and watch them really focus and get back on their feet and show up in a way for themselves that they didn't know that they could. It's just really beautiful. I just feel like we are beautiful.
My hope is that we can get out of this cycle of seeking out artificial substance to hide our pain, to hide our trauma, and that we're not afraid to let that out and to seek out our cultural ways to heal ourselves. But we know people are not ready to find sobriety, but that doesn't mean you're not a human. It doesn't mean you're not a tribal member and you're not worthy of being a part of this tribe. So we're gonna be here for you. We still love you. We want you to be sober, but we're here for you. No matter who you are, at what stage of life you're in, we're here for you, and we want you to be able to become a part of something bigger, and that when you're ready, we're here for you.
This story is supported by the Public Welfare Foundation, committed to advancing a transformative approach to justice that is community-led, restorative, and racially just. Learn more at publicwelfare.org.